Hey guys, this is Mitch, aka DieselDog49. Tonight I am reviewing the Corsair K90 mechanical gaming keyboard. This is one of the most popular keyboards out there, and there's a lot of different reasons for that, and I want to get my hands on it and really get a feel for it. I've used it for about 3 weeks now, and I found some interesting stuff about it, and I'm going to kind of go into just a few of the different pros and cons of this keyboard. Starting off with, first and foremost, is no other keyboard on the market other than the K60, which is its little brother made by Corsair, looks like this keyboard. It's got an aluminum backplane, and then it has these free-floating style keys, which are cherry red MX switches behind it, which are usually considered pretty much the best for gaming. It comes with a wrist rest. It's a very complete package, and it really is directed at the gamer. It is completely backlit. So what that means is, it first of all has individual LEDs behind every single key. So every single one of these keys has its own LED behind it. So that gives you one, very even backlighting, and two, incredibly bright backlighting. In fact, there's 3 different settings of backlighting: 1, 2, and 3, obviously, and then off. 2 and 3 I don't really see a point for. I mean, 2 maybe, but 3 is just overkill. It hurts to look at the keyboard, which is kind of the point of backlighting, is looking at your keyboard. And that's a good thing though. I mean, you know, it's nice. I'd rather have too bright than not enough, and it's very easily adjustable, and I'll go over how you do all of that in a minute. It is a full keyboard with, and then it has an extra set of 18 programmable keys on the side here, which you use Corsair software, download it onto your PC, and map out these keys, you know, for whatever macros that you want to use. As well, you have a wrist rest here, and then you actually have a USB port extension right on the back here, and that is a full pass-through. What that means, hold on here, let me make sure I don't drop it off the desk, is that right here you have two USB plugs, like that, one for your keyboard, and then one for that pass-through, so that if you plug in a thumb drive or, you know, a mouse or whatever you want to use, it's just full-on power all the way through. As far as the layout goes, it's all standard. You have a full-on 10 key. One of the things about this keyboard is that it does not have all mechanical switches, which confuses some people. So let me explain that real quick. All of your normal keys right here are mechanical. Your arrow keys and then your numpad are mechanical. But then your page down, delete, you know, this whole area here, and then all of your F keys, your escape, and your mappable keys are not mechanical. They are the rubber dome. So that is going to give a different feel. However, the Cherry MX Red provides probably the closest sensation to a rubber dome, so it's not as noticeable as if it was MX Blues or, you know, MX Browns, where you have that linear click or that tactile click, and then you'd be feeling nothing from the rubber domes. It's still a little jarring to me as someone who uses mechanical keyboards almost exclusively, but I mean, I think that, you know, if this is your first mechanical keyboard, you probably won't notice or care. So going on from there, we have a full bank of media keys here, which are also backlit. So you have your stop, backwards, pause, play, and forwards. Above that, you have an actual metal aluminum volume rocker, and that's an infinite spin one way or another, so you just spin it up until you feel like you've hit maximum volume. Excuse me. You have a mute key right here, once again backlit. Then you have your caps lock, num lock, all of those keys. Windows lock key, which is, you know, self-explanatory. This is your backlighting adjustment. Like I said, you have 0, 1, 2, and 3 for settings, or it should just be 0, 1, 2, and oh god, I'm blind. But anyway, you have 3 different profile keys here, so you can have different mappable setups for those customizable keys, which is obviously very nice because you can switch it from game to game. Another interesting feature is on the construction of this keyboard. They actually have laid all of the mappable keys. They're probably about ½ an inch lower than the rest of the keyboard. The reason for that is when you're on your WASD and you're going over here to hit your stuff, instead of pounding your escape key, you're actually going to feel that level of difference and be able to hit it. You're not going to miss key nearly as often. At least that's the idea. Anyway, the cable is braided. It's very thick, very high quality, does not kink easily, and this stupid box I'm using to prop up the keyboard just isn't working, so I'm going to hold it. It definitely feels really nice, and there's really nothing bad about that other than it is a little bit harder to root when you need to make a tight turn. But, you know, that's just me being picky. Anyway, so your wrist rest, very nice. I found it to be a good level. Obviously, it's all preference. If you're used to a gel wrist rest or something like this, it's not going to work for you, but it is obviously removable. You've got 2 metal clasps right here, or 2 plastic clasps right here, and then you have 2 actual metal thumb screws on the side. So I mean, it's on there. You can really just, it takes the brute. You're not going to break this wrist rest easily, so which is nice because I've had a lot of them break on me. So now, as far as use goes, it's a mechanical keyboard. You press the button, you don't have to go all the way, you don't have to fully depress it to get a keystroke. That's the whole idea. If you pound on a mechanical keyboard, you're kind of missing the point. For typing, at least. For gaming, obviously that's an entirely different thing, but for typing, the whole point of this keyboard, or any mechanical keyboard, is to not bottom out all the way. It creates less stress on your hands, and it's going to give you a better typing experience. Anyway, as far as the key design goes, this floating setup looks really cool, but it does have some drawbacks. First of all, any food or liquid or anything, well, liquid obviously is going to get in no matter what, but food, dust, anything like that, debris, it goes right in and under your keys. So while this is obviously a problem with all keyboards, not having anything around it, if you keep your keyboard at a slight angle like I do, it's just going to fall under into your keys. So that means it's going to take a little bit more cleaning to keep this keyboard functioning properly, because obviously if junk gets under there, yes, I eat at my desk, I know. If you don't, you're better than me. Good for you. But anyway, if it does get under there, obviously hitting a button and hearing something crunch underneath is never pleasant. So I would say, for me, I'd be cleaning this keyboard about once a month. For the average person, they'll probably do it 2 or 3 months, but don't think that you can just get away with a can of air to get everything out, because you're just going to get more stuff in there. And the texture of this aluminum, while it looks really cool, it actually makes it easier for things to stick and actually hold there, so things don't blow out as easily as, like, say, a smooth plastic. There's nothing wrong with it. It obviously doesn't stain, it doesn't warp or anything like that. It's very cool looking, but it is going to actually hold on to things a little bit more, so you're going to want to actually take something and wipe it down a little bit more. They've got almost a soft touch rubber coating. It's not rubber, but that's kind of how it feels, is like soft touch rubber on the keys. That's going to be a preference thing. I'm okay with it, but it's not my favorite style. It does, however, once again, attract more grease or anything like that. It's going to show up more. It's going to be a little bit harder to clean. I'm shooting in 1080p here, so if you have it cranked all the way up, you can probably actually see, you know, just little bits here and there. Even though I did clean this before shooting this, it's just a little bit harder to clean. So if you're a neat freak, this may not be the keyboard for you. But, you know, I mean, once again, it's all about preference. Every keyboard should be cleaned regularly. It amazes me more people don't do it. Same thing, once again, with the wrist rest. Takes a little bit more cleaning maintenance. So all in all, this is a great keyboard. Like I said, I gamed on it. I had no problems with it. The backlighting is wonderful. Some people have reported having a problem with it not remembering what backlighting setting you're on when you turn off the computer and turn it on. I didn't have that problem. It worked for me without issue. Corsair software, I had a problem installing on one computer. The other one, it worked fine. That computer actually is gone now because it was giving me issues, so I don't really think it's anything to do with their software. I'd say it's on par with Razer's as far as key mapping and how all of that goes. Other than that, it's a very nice keyboard. One thing I would like to see them include would be a key puller, which is just a simple little device that lets you pull the keys off really easily, and that's going to make it easier to clean the keyboard. It's going to be easier to maintain the keyboard, or swap in cool little custom keys like this one right here, which is a Jolly Roger. You know, get your you know, trick out your keyboard sort of thing. So I mean, all in all, I would say I've seen this keyboard on sale a lot lately at around $90 to $100. At that price, it's a great buy. At $130, I would have liked to have seen at least all of my F keys and my escape keys be mechanical. And I mean, really, that's my biggest criticism, is just that for me, it does still bring me out of it when I have that kind of mushy feeling to it. And if you're a neat freak, I probably wouldn't recommend this keyboard, but for the gamer, there's really not a better mechanical keyboard out there. You've got your mappable keys, you've got the profiles here, backlighting, which is obviously important, and then all of your volume and media controls, which just give you that extra dimension, and then the bonus is, of course, that USB port on the top, which I do really like, and I would love to see more mechanical keyboard manufacturers include that in there. So that's pretty much it for this. It's moving on from there. I do have a couple things coming up. First of all, I will be doing an overview of the Seasonic 650 power supply. I can't do a full test on it because I don't have the equipment to. I'm sure you noticed this big old build back here. This is a BitPhoenix. Sorry, I wanted to say NZXT for some reason, but I knew that was wrong. But BitPhoenix Shinobi XL case, and I am doing a full review with it, as well as a MSI Big Bang 2 X79 motherboard right here. So obviously I'm doing a review on that as well. I've got a 3820 Intel processor in here. The video card is a Gigabyte 7970 with a EK water block and backplate, so that's going to be fun. I will be putting in 2 radiators, 16 gigs of RAM, you know, getting the whole thing tricked out, and I'll be doing actually some really cool hard drive options since I had to take out the hard drive rack to mount one of my radiators. So that will be coming up in about a week or two. I also have obviously the Phobia radiator still to go, and I will be doing I have a MX Brown mechanical keyboard coming in, as well as I think I'm going to have a Black Widow Ultimate keyboard coming in, and then the Razer Naga mouse and Razer Naga Ultimate after that will both be getting reviewed. So a lot coming up, and I really appreciate you guys watching, and have a great night.